Hi everyone, this is Suzan. Thanks again for coming to Chair Yoga today. So for those of you who are new to yoga, it's not just a series of poses, it's not just exercising, although that's certainly a part of it. But yoga encompasses a lot more. It encompasses the body, the mind, and the spirit. And so in our lives, we tend to come up against agitations and worries and fears, especially right now. This is a very troubling time for a lot of us. But we start to notice in yoga where we pay attention to, where we put our focus. If we're always watching the news, we might not realize that that's a little agitating, and that's going to create negative thoughts, which are going to eventually create negative feelings in the body, because it's all connected. So in yoga, we begin to practice focusing on something else. And we'll realize that by focusing on the breath and on sensations in the body, we come to the present moment, the now. And the now, the present moment, is okay. We're okay right now. So that's how we use this practice here in our class, but also take that into our lives. So it's an essential, valuable skill for survival. So that's what the ancient yogis taught. So that's what yoga is really all about, a way to find that peace and contentment that's right there inside, but covered up by all the stuff around us. All right, so I mentioned focusing on the breath. We don't tend to notice our breath very much. We tend to breathe shallowly, especially if we're stressed. We breathe into the upper chest. But in yoga, we want to send the breath down. So let's just sit for a moment. Let's get comfortable. Sometimes it's nice to lean forward and scoot all the way back in the chair and then come upright. Adjust yourself. And we can sit with our knees and feet about hip width apart. That's about 2 fists distance. The knees are stacked over the ankles. And in yoga, we root to rise. This is called pressing and extending. We press into the feet, we press into the sits bones on the chair, and as we press, we can extend upwards. So we create a long length, nice length in the spine. So also I want to find relaxation there. So notice if your shoulders are lifted and let them roll back and down. And now just notice your breathing. You might want to close your eyes. And just let the breath carry you inside yourself. Without changing your breath just yet, just feel it. Just follow those waves of breath in and out. And as you exhale, on your next exhalation, let the belly draw back towards the spine, not forcefully, but this is going to empty out the breath a little more fully. And you'll notice your next inhalation will be a little easier and a little deeper as your belly relaxes and opens. And we want to consciously direct our breath down into the belly. So let the belly be very soft. Let the belly fill with breath and empty out. Again, drawing the navel back towards the spine, fully emptying out of the breath. Next breath easily flows in. And as you're breathing, I want you to notice how you begin to relax. The body softens. The mind begins to quiet down because we're giving it something else to focus on, other than our thoughts and everything external. And we're going to begin the Dirga Pranayama breath, which is the 3-part breath. In this breath, we send the breath into the belly and feel it expand around the middle, the sides, and the lower back. And then the next breath, as the breath rises up into the ribs, we feel the ribs expand all around, front, middle, back. And then we send the breath all the way to the top of the lungs. We expand under the collarbone area. And our exhalations, we exhale from top to bottom, emptying out, the belly coming in last. Durga Pranayama. So without force or strain, just begin this breath and continue into the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhaling out from top to bottom, just as though you're filling a water bottle. Allow your shoulders to become soft and heavy away from the ears. Let the elbows be heavy. The hands resting on your thighs, palms up or down. Down might feel a little more grounding, which can be helpful in times like this. Or palms up will be more receptive. So it's sometimes hard to be quiet with ourselves, but by focusing on the breath, it makes it a little easier. Noticing if you're holding any tensions in the face, around your eyes, around your jaw, base of the tongue. Let your neck be soft all the way through the shoulders, arms and hands and fingers. Chest is open and soft, the belly is soft. The hips and pelvis. Releasing any tension in the legs, all the way down to the feet. Even the toes. Taking this time for ourselves to just be, to be fully present with this physical body, to be in touch with the body's messages. And before we begin our practice, I invite you to chant one sound of Om with me. It's nice to create vibration in the body, and it brings us a little deeper within ourselves. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale all that breath out. Let go even more in the physical body, soft. And take another deep breath in, belly, ribs, chest. And just notice if you feel any effect from sound, from vibration. Let your body soften even more. On your next inhalation, we can slowly begin to open the eyes. Good. We want to begin our practice feeling very calm and relaxed. We don't want to bring tension into our poses. And this is where we come back to over and over again. It's our touchstone for our practice. So we're just going to sit up nice and comfortably tall. Lengthening, again, pressing into the feet, getting tall through the spine. We're going to inhale deeply, belly, ribs, chest. And as we exhale, we're going to let the right ear slowly just drop over to the right shoulder. Go slow. We never rush through any movements. This way we can feel everything that's happening, every hot spot, every tight area. And if you like, you can just stay here, or maybe bring your right hand to your left ear and let the gentle weight of your hand guide the head down to create more of a stretch in the left side. If it doesn't feel right, then don't do that. You can also bring your left arm out to the side if it feels right. And you can play with this. You can turn the palm up and down, and you can reach, you can make circles. And maybe turn the head a little bit up and down as if you're shaking your head no. And then inhale, release your right hand, lower it down, bring the head back up. Take a deep breath. Relax the shoulders down. And again, inhale deeply, belly, ribs, chest. And exhale slowly, now dropping the left ear to the left shoulder. Notice if your right shoulder starts creeping up, let it be soft. And again, if it feels right, bringing the left hand up and onto your right ear. Gentle weight, not pulling. Just noticing the tight areas. Let it just soften. And again, maybe if it feels right, bringing the right arm out to the side. And just bringing the palm up and back and down. Maybe rotating. If you're rotating, go the other way. Maybe turn the palm up. Just notice how that feels. On your next inhalation, lower that right arm if it's up, release the left, and slowly bring the head back up. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. And opening the eyes. Please come forward on your chair just a little bit. We're going to sit up nice and tall as we did before. Knees and feet hip width apart, knees stacked above the ankles. So take a look at that. Good. And we're going to rotate our shoulders, but one at a time. There are 4 movements the shoulders can make, and we're going to isolate those. So we're going to bring that left shoulder forward. Hold for a moment. And then we're going to bring that shoulder up. Right up to the ear, squeeze it up. And then we're going to bring the shoulder back and then down. So again, forward and up and back and down. And now we'll get fluid, coming forward and up and exhaling back and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down. Once more. Inhale forward and up. And exhale back and down. Place your left hand back on your thigh. Let the right arm relax. And inhale, bringing that right shoulder forward, and we'll hold for a moment. And bringing it up, squeezing. And then back and down. And again, forward and bringing it up to the ear, squeeze, and back and down. And now fluid, inhaling forward and up, and exhaling back and down. Getting that full range of motion. Inhale forward and up, exhale back and down. Once more, forward and up. Exhale back and down. And relax the hand on the thigh. Take a deep breath. And release all the tension. Let it drain out from the body. So opening your eyes, if you've closed them, let's bring the hands to the sides of the chair. We're going to press into the chair seat. And let the heart begin to lift upwards towards the sky. I'm not bringing my head back. I'm keeping the back of my neck nice and long and lengthening through the spine as I reach my heart forward and up. Lift your gaze. So we want to open the chest here. So breathe. We want to maintain that steady, fluid breath, belly, ribs, and chest. Feel the chest expand on those inhalations. And another inhalation, and slowly come back up. Bring the hands back to the thighs, allow the chin to drop to the throat, and just let the shoulders round forward. And then inhaling, slowly coming back up. Nice. You might start to notice we tend to bring our shoulders forward a lot, especially if we're sitting, driving, all those activities, and we want to expand and open the heart as much as possible. So we do those opening poses as frequently as we can. So we're going to do a little breathing exercise. It's called pulling prana, where I reach out to get that prana, which is energy. That's the word for energy in yoga. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And on exhalation, we're going to pull that energy into the body with a forceful breath out through the mouth. Ha. So it's like this. Ha. Okay, so we're going to do that a few times. I want you to sit up tall, stacking those knees over the ankles and bringing the arms out. Take a breath in and exhale. Ha. Good. Again, inhale. Ha. Inhale. Ha. Good. Inhale. Ha. Two more. Ha. Inhale last. Ha. Good. Bring your hands to your thighs. Close your eyes. Let your natural breath resume. And I want you to feel the effects of this breath. We've expelled toxins from the bottoms of the lungs with that forceful exhalation. You might feel tingling, some warmth. It's all normal. Good. And opening your eyes once again. We're going to do that one more time, one more round. So again, we're going to inhale, reach the arms out, and exhale. Ha. Imagine pulling energy into your body. Inhaling. Ha. Good. Inhale. Ha. Inhale. Ha. Two more. Ha. Last one. Ha. Again, place your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, breathe naturally. Take it in. Very good. And slowly opening our eyes once again. We're going to do some simple pelvic tilts. Very powerful exercise for the core muscles in the body. So you can bring your hands to your hips so you can get the sensation of feeling the pelvis tilting. So we're going to inhale and let your tail lift. And I'm going to come to the side so you can see this. I'm taking a breath in and I'm letting my tail lift. So you can see my pelvis is tilting forward. My heart opens a little bit, my shoulders come back. I'm going to keep my chin back and tucked, but I'm just letting that pelvis tilt. And then I'm going to exhale and let the tail drop and then come underneath me. So the pelvis is tilting back now. You can see this movement. Good. Very small movement, but very powerful. It's very good for your low back. So we'll do that. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lifting the tail. Let the heart open and lift. Bring the elbows back a bit. Lift your gaze. And then exhale, let the tail begin to drop down and underneath you, tucking it underneath. So it's a small movement. Inhale, lift your tail, tilt the pelvis forward, and exhale, scooping it down underneath. I want you to notice which feels a little easier and which may feel a little more challenging. Most of us tend to have a tilt in the pelvis a little bit more exaggerated one way or the other. This is a way of noticing that. One way might feel easier than the other. And then see if you can find a neutral pelvis. So now we're going to lift the left hip and then lift the right hip. Just kind of rocking the pelvis left and right. All right, good. And now we're going to combine this with the pelvic tilt. So let's come to a neutral position once again. We're going to inhale as we did before, let the tail lift, tilt the pelvis forward. And then we're going to lift the right hip. And then we're going to tuck the tail under. And then we're going to come over to the right hip, lift the left. And then come forward, lifting the tail. And continue these circles. Tucking Lifting the left hip, lifting the tail, shifting left, lifting the right hip, tucking under. And just feel that movement in your hips. Loosening up, creating a little more space. And again, notice if you're breathing now as you do this. Inhaling and exhaling. Take a pause wherever you are. Let's go the other direction. Notice how this feels now. And as you breathe deeply and do this exercise, see if you can lift the corners of your mouth a little bit. Create a little smile. Continue to breathe. Good. And then we'll come to a steady position, nice and still, hands on the thighs. Let's take a deep breath in. 3-part breath, and exhale, let it all go. Good. Then we're going to bring the left arm across the body. You can place the hand on your shoulder. Bring your right hand to your left elbow. And here you want to let that left shoulder relax down. We don't want to lift it up. Keep it relaxed down. And take a deep breath in, sitting nice and tall by pressing into the feet and the sits bones. And exhale, gently draw that right elbow over to, that left elbow over to the right. I'm mirroring you, so I'm doing the opposite, but you can do what I'm doing. Good. Breathe, relax, getting a nice stretch. One more deep breath, belly, ribs, and chest. And then let it go. Release your arm. Feel for one breath. Let it go. And then we'll bring the right hand over to the left shoulder. Left hand to the right elbow. Keep that right shoulder relaxed down. Take a deep breath, sitting tall. And exhale now, drawing that right elbow over to the left, not forcing. This is an opportunity to find our edge here. And the edge is where we begin to feel a little resistance. We don't resist that by backing off. We don't push. We just stay there, follow the breath. And those steady, smooth breaths naturally relax the body, quiet the mind. So just notice that. And the body relaxes, and the body can stretch further without any effort. It may not go further at all, but the body's relaxing. Let's take a nice breath in, slowly release. And inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up, and back and down. Couple times. Good. And relax. Let's inhale the arms out and up. And exhale down. We're going to do a forward fold, but I want to show all of you how to do proper forward fold before we all do it. So sometimes we come forward and we want to go further, so we start rounding the spine. And that's not what we want to do. It's just a hinge at the hips. It's a flexion of the hips, not a flexion of the spine. So we want to keep a tall, neutral spine at length and hinge only at the hip creases coming forward this way. All right, so I'm going to come forward. And we have the option of having the arms up or down. So if you feel uncomfortable in your shoulders, you can find another arm position or just keep your hands on your hips. So those who'd like to have your arms raised, let's bring the arms out and up as we inhale. And you can stop here, you can be in cactus, which is elbows bent, or you can bring them all the way up. But find where it feels good. Maybe wiggle in the shoulders a little bit. The elbows, as I said, can remain bent. Otherwise, inhale and lengthen, press into your feet, your sits bones to get tall through your spine, up through the crown. And exhale, hinging forward at the hip creases. Remember not to round forward. Lift your heart. So you can almost imagine you're doing a back bend as you're hinging forward. You want to keep this movement of lifting the heart. The tail begins to lift and you find your edge. You might just be here. But just take a breath when you get a little bit at that edge where you start to feel some resistance. If your arms are starting to get uncomfortable, just lower your hands to your thighs. But keep the heart lifting up, hinging forward just at those hip creases. Really nice for the low back. And then again, if your arms are down, bring them forward, optional. And press into your feet, and inhaling, slowly come back up. And exhale, slowly lower the arms back down. Hands on the thighs, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And again, return to that stillness, not allowing any of that tension to come with us into our next pose. Let it all drain out. Good, and again, slowly opening our eyes. So come forward a little bit on your chair. And let's bring the left leg out to the side. And then bring it in. And then bring it out. We're starting to stretch the inner thigh muscle here, warming up the hip a little bit. So just be fluid and relaxed. Keep breathing. And then we'll do the other side, bringing the right leg out and just letting it rock out and in. Good. Last time. All right, good. So let's bring our feet out a little wide and just begin to rock the knees side to side. You may not come that far at first, you may just come a little bit, but as you go, you might loosen up a little bit more. So hopefully you can slide on your chair. It might be difficult if you've got a cushion on it. And then eventually we're going to come all the way to the right, where my right thigh and my right buttock is on the chair. My right hand can be on the back of the chair. My left knee is hanging straight down. And I'm going to lean forward and bring this left foot back. I'm on the ball of that foot. The toes are curled under. You may not be able to come as far as I am. That's okay. This muscle here, the psoas muscle, might be a little tight, but this is what we're working on here. And then we're going to come upright. And if it doesn't feel right, if it's too tight or your low back hurts, then just lean forward again, bring that foot further in. Okay? So my range of motion is I can come a little bit further back, and I'm okay with that. But I want to drop the tail straight down. We don't want the tail lifting up here. We want the tail to be dropping straight down, the belly pulled in, and the spine straight up, just as if we're sitting in the chair. The right knee is directly over the ankle. And good, everybody looks good as far as I can see, good. So now we're going to press into that front foot, and we're going to press into that rear heel. And from there, we're going to lengthen up. We might notice that this left hip is coming open. We want to keep that left hip square, forward with the right. We're coming into warrior pose in a chair. It's a beautiful pose. So again, we're opening this muscle here. If it's feeling a little tight, that's okay. We're finding the edge, not pain. So some resistance. So to open up this side even a little bit more, we're going to bring the left arm up and overhead. If this doesn't feel right, you can bend the elbow, being cactus. You can have the hand on your shoulder, or you can just leave your hand on your hip. Pressing into the front foot and pressing back into that rear heel, lengthen up. Remember, the tailbone comes straight down. That left hip is square and forward. You might want to bring the right arm up to meet the left. Pressing into the feet and back into that rear heel. Remember the press points and energetic extensions. We press down with our feet to lengthen up. At any moment you need to come out, come out. Please don't go past your edge. Notice if you can breathe deeply, that Durga Pranayama breath, belly, ribs, chest. On your next exhalation, slowly lower the arms, the right arm to the back of the chair. Relax that left leg down. Let it just relax. And then we're going to bring that left leg out to the side. If this is too far, then bring it in, but keep the foot flat on the floor. Good. And if that left hip wants to come back again, keep it forward as best you can, not forcing. Place your left hand on your right knee. And again, your right hand is on the back of the chair. I'm going to inhale and lengthen up through my spine. And exhale, I'm going to twist to the right. The belly comes around to the right. Take another breath in, lengthen. Exhale, feel your ribs turning to the right. Again, inhale, lengthen. On your next exhalation, maybe that right shoulder comes back a little bit, and maybe your head can turn and you can gaze to the right as well. On your next inhalation, focus on lengthening through your spine as you slowly unwind and come back. Good. Draw that left foot back in, and let's turn back to face the front. Place your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And let go of any tension that may have accumulated from that pose. Release it through the breath. All our attention focused on the breath in the here and the now. And notice the contentment and peace that's found here. And again, opening your eyes. And we're going to turn now to the left side. Your left buttock and thighs on the chair, left hand on the back of the chair, letting the right knee drop down. I'm on the ball of my right foot. And again, I'm going to lean forward and bring that right foot back. This side could be completely different from the other side, so be careful. Do what feels right. We're hunting for that edge where we can stay relaxed and breathe. And bring yourself upright. Keep the tail reaching down, not letting it lift because you're going to get too much of an arch in the back, the low back. You want to keep it protected and down. That right hip squares forward with the left knee is over the ankle, and we're pressing into the front foot, down into the front foot, and back into that rear heel. Good. And lengthening up. As you press, you can maybe feel yourself even almost lifting off the chair. You're going to use a lot more muscle, a lot more energy. So find where it works. And again, if you like, bring the right arm up. Any arm position that's comfortable for you. Keep your focus steady and notice if you're able to breathe deeply into the belly, the ribs, the chest, or finding that edge where we can stay in the pose and breathe and be relaxed. If you like, bring the left arm up. Keep lengthening as you reach up and also pressing down and back. Just follow the breath, that easy flowing breath. Take another breath. And exhale. If your arms are up, slowly lower them down. You can lean forward a little bit, release that right leg down, let it relax. And then bringing that leg out to the side. However far it feels comfortable for you. Foot is firm on the floor. Your right hand on your left knee, left hand on the back of the chair. And again, you don't want your tail to be lifting here. You want the tail straight down, belly pulled in. And remember, we want to lengthen in a twist because the spine compresses and we want to get length as we twist. So take that next breath in, belly, ribs, chest, get as tall as you can, up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, gently twist left, starting from the belly and taking another breath in, lengthening. Exhaling at the ribs, twisting at the ribs. Again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, maybe bringing the left shoulder back and maybe gazing over your left shoulder. Turning the head, turning your eyes. Never forcing, just relaxing here with breath, with sensations. Take another breath in and lengthen as you slowly unwind, coming back to center. Good, and drawing that right foot in, coming back to the front. Hands on the thighs, close your eyes and inhale deeply one more time. And feel all the tensions just flowing out. And we come to recognize this stillness as our true nature. We can come to this place anytime we want. Then opening the eyes. So we're going to do some standing poses. I don't know if you're aware that we do that. Even though we have the chair, we do standing poses, but we have the chair to assist us and to be of support as needed. So let's come to a standing position, please. And just stand behind your chair. So I'm going to show you from the side. You can stay where you are. We're going to come into what's called Utkatasana, chair pose. Very appropriate. So let's bring our feet hip width apart. And if you like, if you have a book or a block, you can put that between your thighs, like that. But it's not absolutely necessary at all. So maybe next time. So with our feet hip width apart, toes are forward, and you want to bring the heels just a little bit apart. So my heels aren't coming in, they're coming out. So the outsides of my feet are parallel to each other. You want to spread your toes, root them down. If you're in shoes, then just do your best. It's really nice to be barefoot for yoga, but if you're not, then just do your best spreading your toes. Press down into your feet and extend up through the spine and out through the crown. Feel that nice length in your spine. Bring the shoulders back, chin back, and just press down into all four corners of your feet. We're going to take a deep breath in, always lengthening on that inhalation. And as we slowly exhale, we're going to bend the knees a little bit and reach the buttocks back as if there's a chair right behind you and you're going to sit down into that chair. So we're not bringing the knees way forward or keeping them back, we're just reaching the buttocks back. Good. Notice if your feet are beginning to shift out to the outside or the inside. Stay rooted and grounded. It doesn't matter how far you come. Let's take a breath and come up once more. And again, on our exhalation, we're going to very consciously come into our pose so we can find a place where we can hold right at our edge. So not letting the tail lift up. We want to keep it tucking down. And if you like, you can stay here and breathe, or bring one arm up and then the other. Check your balance. Roll the shoulders back. So we don't want to be reaching like this. We want to be relaxed in the shoulders. Keep the breath steady. Feel your feet pressing into the earth. Feel the sensations in your body without labeling them. The mind becomes active and says, I don't like this, or this is uncomfortable. How long are we holding? But if you stay focused on the breath and you're at your edge, you can stay here a little longer. Keep breathing. Use the energy of breath. Take one more breath and inhale. Slowly press into your feet as you come up. And exhale, lower the hands to the chair. Take a breath. Close your eyes or soften your eyes. Let go. Good. Good. When you're ready, open your eyes. We're going to come into a downward dog. So why don't you take a look first. If you haven't been in my class, I just would like you to see how I do this. I'm going to walk back. And if you need, we bend the knees as much as you need. Feet are hip width apart. And I end up lining up my hips approximately above my ankles. And the idea is to get the arms alongside the ears and lengthen. I'm holding on to this chair and reaching back through the hip creases. So you guys have started. So yeah, stepping back, good. You can do this now, but I want you to see how that looks. If your shoulders are uncomfortable, you can always bring the hands to the sides of the chair a little bit to widen. But we're lifting the tail up, drawing the navel in, reaching back through the hip creases as the tail lifts. And as we hold on to the chair, we're reaching forward through the crown of the head. I want you to imagine that there's a rope tied around your hip creases and somebody's pulling you back. We're creating space between the vertebrae, which get compressed from sitting, standing, everything we do. So this is wonderful for the body. If you need to come out anytime, please come out. And we will come out all together in just a moment. Let's take a breath in. Exhale. And on your next inhalation, lift your gaze up to the back of the chair and begin to walk back up to the chair slowly. And if you feel dizzy, keep your eyes open but soft. Otherwise, let your eyes close. Come back, breathe. And just feel. Feel everything that's happening in your body, all the sensations. Again, sensations are happening just in this moment. So by focusing on sensations, again, we're in the present moment. This is where life happens. Life is a series of now. And in this moment, all's well. Good. And opening your eyes. So So we're going to come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So let's take a wide stance right behind the chair. And we're going to turn the right foot to the right. So your toes are facing all the way to the right. And the left toes are going to turn in a little bit. Make your stance as comfortable as you need. You might not be as wide as I am. That's okay. And then we're going to turn the torso to face the chair so you can feel a little bit of opening in that right hip crease. And again, you don't want the tail lifted. You want to reach it down so the belly comes in, that pelvic tilt. Remember? Tucking the tail down, finding that neutral pelvis. Good. And we're going to take a nice breath in, lengthen, pressing into the feet, bring that energy up. And then exhale, we're just going to tilt the torso to the right. Let the left hip lift, bring that right hip down. Move the chair so you can see me. I have a nice long spine. Just coming to where you can. Again, that edge, no pain. You can keep your left hand on your hip now here. Bringing that left shoulder back. Reach the tail towards your heel. So our tail isn't lifting, it's pulling in and belly's in. And you can stay right here. You can bring that left hand onto your shoulder or maybe up towards the sky. The elbow can stay soft, no pain. And you want to feel as though there's a wall behind you and you can press your body back against that wall, even your head too. So we're opening the body. You can see this is an opener to the front body. Breathe deeply, belly, ribs, chest. If you can't breathe deeply, you're probably beyond your edge. If your mind is complaining and agitated, you're beyond your edge. Good. Inhale, slowly come up. Lower the left hand. Good. Very nice. Let's turn the right foot in and the left foot out. Toes, the left foot facing all the way to the left. Torso facing this direction as best you can. And again, notice your pelvis. Is the tail lifted or is it way tucked under? Try to find that neutral pelvis, the tail reaching straight down. Good. Let's take a nice breath in. Get tall and then exhale again, tilting left. Let that right hip come to the right. Let the left hip drop. It's the whole torso that's moving over. So we have this nice alignment. So feel that. And keep your right hand on your hip if it feels good, or onto your shoulder, or maybe up towards the sky. Breathe. Again, bringing that right shoulder back and the head back. Imagine that wall behind you. Reach your right tailbone towards your right heel. Breathe deeply. Again, present moment, just this. Find the contentment that's in this moment. What takes you out of this? It's just a time to notice a little bit, no judgments. And inhale, slowly come back up. Lower the right hand. Shift that left foot forward. And let's take a nice breath in. And exhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hip creases just as we did before. Keep the chin tucked. So I'll come to my side so you can see. You can bend the knees as much as you need. And we want to begin to lift the tail, pull the navel in, and we're reaching from the tail through the crown. You can bring your hands to the chair seat in front of you if you like this, or behind it. And for those who may want to come even lower, if you have a rung on the bottom of your chair, you can bring it down, your hands down, but pay attention to your low back. If you press into your feet, you can lift your tail more. Feel as though your inner thighs can roll back and you extend from your tail through the spine and out through the crown. Nice deep breaths. On your next inhalation, wherever you are, slowly come up. Maybe bring your hands to the back of the chair. You can bend your knees and rise up slowly. And then bring your heels together, your toes together, the heels together. And finally, step your feet together and just take this time to Drop in. Deep breaths. Notice your heartbeat. Notice all the sensations that flood through the body. Feel them come and feel them go. And then opening the eyes when you're ready. So for the next pose, which is revolved triangle pose, we're going to bring the chair, turn it around, turn the chair around so the seat is facing you. Okay, good. So we're going to step up closer to the chair. Place your hands on your hips and stand tall. Take a nice breath in. And exhale, we're going to take a step back with the right foot and place the heel down. You want the feet hip-width apart. That way you're not on a balancing tightrope. So check the space between your feet. If you're feeling a little unsteady, the right toes can come out a little bit. That's fine. But we want to keep the hips square to the front, towards the chair. All right? So pressing into the feet here, tail drops down. We're lengthening up through the spine, keep the head back and the chin tucked. And we're going to fold again at the hip creases as we did before. Take a breath in, stay tall, lengthen up. And exhale, we're going to begin hinging forward. Feel free to bend this front knee. And then eventually you can bring your hands down to the chair. And if it doesn't make it there, bend that knee as much as you need. Or if you have that block or thick book, you can bring that down onto the chair so you're a little higher up. You want to press into that front foot there on the floor and pull that right hip forward. Lengthen by lifting your tail and reaching through the crown of the head. Notice I'm not lifting my head, I'm not dropping my head. I'm lengthening through the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Keep it in line with the rest of the spine. So breathe here. You're going to feel a stretch in the back of that left thigh. Take those deep breaths to soften. Notice your jaw might be tightening up, your eyes, your belly. And to come into our revolved triangle, we're going to place the right hand just beneath our throat. Place the left hand on your left hip. Keep that right hip pulling forward. Press into that front foot. Lengthen through your spine from tail through crown. Take a deep breath in. And you can exhale and stay here, or maybe gently twist a little bit to the left. Lift. Feel your heart is lifting forward and we're slowly spiraling left. And take those breaths. One more deep breath. And exhale, coming back, bringing the left hand back to the chair. Step the right foot forward. You can bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, and slowly come up. And if you can close your eyes, fine. Otherwise, soften your eyes. I don't want you to feel dizzy. Just relax and breathe and let go of what you just did. Notice any judgment that might have come up. Notice any mental turmoil that may have come up. And that's okay. Let it be, let it come, let it go. And then opening our eyes, we're ready for the other side. So bringing the feet hip-width apart. Again, pressing into the feet, extending up through the spine. Inhale deeply, belly, ribs, chest. And this time, exhale, step straight back with the left foot. Lower the heel. Again, you can turn the left toes out a little bit, but keep the torso facing forward. Both the hips are aiming towards your chair. Not letting that tail lift. The upper buttocks are down, the tail right down towards the earth, the belly comes in. And as we press into the feet, we get nice and tall. Bringing the head back and the chin a little tucked. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale once more, slowly hinging forward just at the hip creases. Go slow so you can feel the moment your spine may begin to round. We want to reach the heart up. Begin to lift your tail. Keep the chin tucked in. And bend the front knee if you need to, but press into that foot to bring the right hip, left hip forward and to give you that strength in your legs. And then bring your hands down onto the chair or that block or the book or whatever you might need there. Not letting the head drop down, keep the back of the neck long. Feel as though you can reach from the middle of your shoulder blades through the base of the skull and out through the crown of the head. Feel the stretch in the back of the right leg here now. And then bringing the left hand underneath your throat, you can bring the right hand to your right hip. Remember, you don't even have to go further if it doesn't feel right. You can stay just where you are. Inhale, lift your tail, bring your heart through, lengthen through the crown, and exhale, maybe, maybe not, but maybe twisting a little bit more to the right. We go slow so we can feel what's happening in the body, become more attuned to its messages, and we know just where to be. Those breaths give you stamina and calm the mind. So belly, ribs, chest, Durga Pranayama breath. Take one more. And as you exhale, slowly lower that left hand back to the chair. Bend your front knee, step that left foot forward. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale, slowly press yourself back up to standing. Release your arms and breathe. Allow this to take you almost into a meditation. That beautiful stillness, that calm, that centered, grounded feeling, open, spacious. Good. And opening the eyes. So let's bring the chair back to the way we had it, turning it around. All right, so we're going to practice a little balancing, and that can bring up a little anxiety for some of us. So try not to let your mind go anywhere, just be in the moment, and we'll explore our balance. So let's come over to the left side of our chair. Let's stand with our feet hip width apart, 2 fist distance. And we're just going to shift our weight side to side, one foot and then the other, and just see how that feels. Notice if your feet are relaxed, if your toes are relaxed, if you start gripping somewhere, maybe even in your face, just soften, relax, and flow side to side. And then when we come over to our right foot, we're going to stay there and just lift the left foot a little bit and then lower it down. And then shift to the left foot and raise the right foot. And just get a sense of how this feels in your body. You can hold the chair, of course, that's what it's there for. And then we're going to begin to lift the foot a little higher. Good. And then we're going to shift over to the left foot, right foot, and let that left knee come up. Maybe just a little bit. Notice if you're collapsing into that right side, pull that right hip in by pressing down into that right foot, and feel as how you press down to that right foot, you get really tall up through your spine. And then maybe you can lift that left leg a little higher, maybe not. Maybe you can experiment now, releasing your right hand. Maybe bring the left hand to your heart in half prayer position. You might want to explore bringing that hand together to your heart. You might be able to raise that left knee higher, but go slow. And it's okay to wobble. It's okay to shake. We're gaining strength in these muscles. But again, stand tall. Bring your shoulders back. Lengthen the back of the neck up through the crown. Take those breaths, belly, ribs, chest. And as you exhale next, release your right hand to the chair or your left hand and lower that left foot back down. And let it go. Good. Just feel how good that is to just let all that go. And we'll come to the other side. Chair makes a lot of noise and I rattle. Okay. So again, feet hip width apart. Just again, a little rocking, one foot to the other. And then beginning to lift the foot a little bit. And then shifting our weight into the left foot and maybe just coming onto the toes. Maybe that's as far as you go. Remember, both sides are different, and remember, our balance changes from day to day as well. Bring a little smile to the corners of your mouth. Draw that left hip in by pressing into the left foot and lengthening up through your spine. We can bring the right hand to the heart. Maybe lift the right foot a little higher. Experiment now with the left hand. We've got the chair there for support. You may be wobbling, that's fine. Maybe you can bring the hands together. And you may want to bring the arms up overhead or come out into cactus. Notice if your tail is beginning to lift. You want to drop it down. Draw the navel in, bring the elbows back and lift the heart. And breathe. Sometimes we hold our breaths in a pose. We want to keep that breath smooth and steady. Take one more breath and exhale. Lower the hands wherever you are. Lower that right foot. Relax, breathe, let it go. Any self-judgment that came up, we wish things can be different from the way they are, and that brings on all that self-suffering. This is what we learn in yoga, to recognize where the thoughts are going. And bring the thoughts back to breath, back to the body, back to this moment. And opening your eyes if they're closed, and let's have a seat. Just taking a moment to return to stillness in a seated position. Maybe close your eyes for a moment so we can integrate all that's been received, all this movement of energy in the body, feeling the breath, its natural rhythm and flow, and feeling ease and calm in this moment. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, preparing for another pose, Kaponatasana, pigeon pose. So not leaning against the back of your chair, come up a little bit. We're going to, if it's available, cross the left ankle onto the right thigh. If that's not possible, you can cross at the knees, or if you have that block or a thick book, you can place your foot on that block. Just some way to open up the inner thighs here. So find what works for you. This might be just where you want to be. Your knee might be up, so just take those breaths and let it soften as best you can. Flex that ankle of that left foot. So we don't want it down like this, we want it flexed. That's going to protect your knee. You might feel some deep tightness in the left hip, maybe not at all. But if you're feeling some tightness, sometimes it helps to pound that area, loosen it up, or rock that knee a little bit. And when you find a place that feels okay, we want to relax into this. So press into that foot onto the floor, press into your sits bones into the chair. And again, take that breath in, belly, ribs, chest, and lengthen. Keep the shoulders back and down, not letting the chin come forward, tuck it in. Chin is parallel to the earth. Pulling those left toes towards your left knee. And again, you may stay right here, but you can experiment with another forward fold. That's going to increase the stretch in the hips. So take a breath in, stay tall, and exhale very slowly, hinging forward at the hip creases as we've been doing throughout our practice. You may stop after just moving an inch. Breathe. It might help to close your eyes so you can really feel what's happening, and so that you can relax that area. And you might notice another area of your body tightening that doesn't need to, often in the jaw. That's where I tighten up. I have to consciously go there and relax and soften my jaw, and even my belly, my shoulders. So you might feel it in another place. And as you relax, you may notice your body's coming a little further. It might not. You want to be relaxed here. It's a big, deep hip opener. Good. On your next inhalation, slowly come up by pressing into that foot on the floor. And if it's available, just cross that leg over like we would sit normal sitting position. If that doesn't work, then you can cross at the ankles. So see what works best for you. We're going to bring the left hand to the side of the chair. The right hand stays on that left knee. Pressing into that foot on the floor. Inhale, get tall. Breathing into the belly, ribs, the chest. And we're going to twist gently left. Exhaling. Again, the belly and the ribs, the chest. Maybe the head, maybe the eyeballs. You can experiment here. On your next breath, as you lengthen and twist towards the left, you can turn your gaze over to the right. Feel if you have any tightness in the neck and shoulders that way. On your next inhalation, staying tall, slowly come back and unwind. And release that left foot down to the floor. Take a deep breath. And let everything go. All that tension flooding out. And preparing for the other side. Crossing the right ankle on the left thigh, or whichever position works best for you. Remember, there's no perfect pose except the pose that works best for you. Again, flexing that right ankle, pulling the toes towards the knee. Notice if this side's different. We're not symmetrical on both sides. Usually one side's tighter than the other. You might want to bounce gently. Maybe pound a little bit. Good. And when you find that place, that edge, lengthen up as you press into that foot on the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the chin back and tucked a little bit. And just continue to lengthen and soften. Let that right leg just relax as much as possible as you pull the toes in towards the knee. And then you have the option of hinging forward. First, inhaling to be tall. And exhaling that slow hinge forward at the hips. No need to go anywhere at all. Every body is different. And you want to honor your body where it's at. And this is why we pay close attention to what's happening. We be right in that moment, right with our bodies. Deep breaths. On your next deep breath in, press into that foot on the floor, slowly come up. And exhale, cross at the knee or the ankles, whatever works. Left hand on your right knee, right hand to the side of the chair. Pressing down, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, begin your twist now to the right. Go slow, never forcing. The mind might say, oh, I know I can go further than that, and you'll rush into it. But you want to go slow and honor the moment in your body. Again, if it feels right, you can twist your gaze all the way to the right, or maybe you want to turn your head and look over the left shoulder. Can you press that left foot into the floor? Can you relax your legs? Can you relax your belly, your shoulders, your eyes? Inhale, tall and slowly unwind. And relax that right foot down. Take a deep breath. Let it go. And opening your eyes and coming into our final pose, Shavasana, our relaxation pose. We've been preparing for this through our practice, so it's not too difficult to relax now, I hope. So what's nice to do is to lean forward, scoot all the way back in your chair, and come up to a tall seated position. For the future, or for now if you like, I just want to show you one option. I have another chair here to demonstrate a way that you can come into Shavasana sometime in the future, if not today. You can sit on one chair, bring your legs up on the other, and you can relax that way, maybe with a cushion behind your back or just sitting up. Very nice. Otherwise, for today, as I said, lean forward, scoot back, and you'll be nice and tall. But adjust yourself so you can be very comfortable. The feet can be wherever you want them to be. The hands and arms just heavy and relaxed. Palms up or down, your preference, wherever they land is probably what feels good for you. And then let your eyes softly close. Take a deep breath in. And let go of all remaining tensions through the face, through the neck and shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, releasing tension through the torso, the pelvis, the belly, the hips. And taking another deep breath in. And exhaling all remaining tension through the legs, the thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Allow the full weight of your body to rest in the chair. Again, just following the flow of breath in and out. Releasing any remaining thoughts or judgments, agitations, and just letting all of that come into the body, into the breath. Feeling content and at ease with things as they are, with yourself as you are. Eyes are very soft. Relax and let go even more. As the mind wanders and you notice that's happening, gently draw your attention right back into this breath, witnessing the in-breath and the out-breath. Just residing in peace. Again, notice your breath. And it might be very soft and very shallow. Notice your body, relaxed and at ease. The mind a little more still. As we slowly come back to this physical body, feel the subtle energy in your hands and your feet And give your fingers and toes a little wiggle. And you can increase this movement by maybe rotating the wrists and the ankles. Nice and slow and easy. If you're circling, go the other direction. And then allow the energy that's flowing within you to guide you to stretch or move in any way that feels good. Just as we wake up from a nap or a full night's sleep, we don't think about how we're going to stretch. It just happens. And when you feel complete, take your time. Come back to a seated position, sitting tall. And still with your eyes closed, let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. In this moment, peace surrounds you. In this moment, peace flows through you. In this moment, you're an instrument of peace. And we open our eyes slowly to the next moment in our lives. Jai Bhagwan. Jai Bhagwan means victory to the spirit within you and within all of us. So Jai Bhagwan, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again.